Greetings, I'm Russell Kelly. I own ATCO Services LLC. I was born and raised in the city of New Orleans. I'm still a resident in the city of New Orleans. On last night, I attended the Mayor of New Orleans Town Hall City Budget Planning meeting. And at that meeting, residents of Lakeview asked questions about potholes in the street, police security, and the fire department. I asked what I thought was a legitimate budgetary question. My question to the mayor was, what sense does it make spending 60% or appropriating 60% of a CDBG, disaster recovery grant for demolition, on backfilling the entire lot size of a property where a building has been demolished and not just filling the footprint? The mayor went on filling questions for about an hour. When he came back to comments, he singled me out. He said, "Russell, stand so everybody can see who you are." He said, "Russell asked a question, but he didn't tell you that he is a local contractor whose contract has just been terminated by the city of New Orleans." He also went on to say that the city of New Orleans is no longer paying outsourcing contracts, whereas a clerical worker or a receptionist or operator or what have you get paid $75 an hour. For the record, my project manager on the contract was billed out at less than half of $75 an hour. The mayor went on to say, "Russell, so while you're running around the city being angry, mad, or whatever he said, for that, it was angry or mad, telling everybody that you've been terminated, blame me, be mad at me. It was my decision. I decided to terminate your contract." Excuse me. Well, Mr. Mayor, I'm not angry. I'm not mad. I'm running around the city telling everyone how disappointed I am in you and your six-figure salary executives and deputy mayors. I'm not angry. I'll tell you why I have every right to be disappointed. On the New Orleans Louis Armstrong Airport interior-exterior renovation project, I was the DBE, Strategic Selective Demolition Contractor. My employees worked from 10 p.m. at night until 5 a.m. in the morning, 6 days a week. My total contract value for 11 months was $228,000. While on that project, we ran into a change order. There was a 75-foot concrete beam. Even though I was the selected and contracted strategic demolition contractor, I wasn't even allowed by the prime contractor to put in the price to remove the beam. This prime contractor paid a non-DBE certified company $75,000 for which took a week to remove a concrete beam. That's why I'm disappointed. I brought it to your administration attention. No one did anything about it. That's why I'm disappointed. Number two, B.W. Cooper, Calio Project. I employed over 35 Section 3 certified individuals, black males, on this project. Ran into several change orders. The prime contractor refused to recognize them for me as change orders. I lost $43,000 on that project. Project number three, the New Orleans East Hospital Project. I was the DBE contractor for demolition, remediating 5 floors of flooring and supplying 15,000 yards of sand for backfill on this same project. One of the project managers from this prime contractor tried to force me to be a pass-through by allowing his white male friend with a flooring business perform the remediation, and I only get paid $25,000 to not show up. That didn't happen. I went in with my crew, I performed the work, I performed the services. I was threatened. I have the emails to prove it, copies of the emails to prove it, Mr. Mayor. I was told by this non-residential or non-resident contractor, white contractor, that New Orleans is small. He gets work like this all the time. I would not make another dime in the city of New Orleans. I have copies of the emails to prove it. I was also threatened, and he attempted to bully me, the project manager for the same prime contractor. I did the work. I completed the flooring remediation in mid-December. I didn't receive my retainage on that scope of work until mid-June, 6 months later. I'm not angry with you, Mr. Mayor. I'm not mad with you, Mr. Mayor. I'm very disappointed because I brought it to your administration attention. Project number 3, strategic demolition for economic recovery. As I said in my question, the company out of Mobile, Alabama was being paid $11.75 per square yard to backfill the entire lot with sand after demolition. Company A, who bid it the same scope of work at $2.62. Company B submitted a bid for the same scope of work at $3.80 a square yard. Company C submitted a bid at $5 a square yard. Company D submitted a bid at $8.74 a square yard. I have copies of the bids right here to prove it. Mr. Mayor, you cut me for profiting $24,000, but then on 400 plus properties, you pay an out-of-town contractor more than 60% above and beyond the demolition price to put backfill on the lot. I'm not angry. I'm just very disappointed. Mr. Mayor, you mentioned last night at the town hall meeting, budgetary town hall meeting, I'm sorry, that you have spent, or the city has spent, hundreds of millions of dollars and spending hundreds of millions of dollars fixing streets. In a city where the majority of the registered voters are black, how many black construction contractors like myself are making 35% of that money? And when I say 35% of that money, I'm not talking about purchasing crushed concrete or sand or asphalt from a non-black or non-minority supplier. I'm talking about the soft money, the professional side of the money, the office side of that money. Again, I'm not mad, I'm not angry, I'm just very disappointed. Excuse me. Another situation. In a blight staff meeting, the CEO of the city, Deputy Mayor, made a statement. He boasted that the Louisiana Land Trust properties that's controlled by a city agency has put out a contract and request for proposal, and we're going to use nothing but local contractors to make some money. But what he didn't say was, I was one of those successful bidders. After being selected, I found out when I got ready to sign my contract, I was only going to be paid $25.